What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on Week 6 waiver wire ads. So, guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. So, what's going on with you, RG? What's up, bro? Guys, this is my special guest today, RG, who's going to be doing content with me going forward. What's going on with you, bro?
Not too much. Just trying to survive all these injuries, man.
I'm telling you. And we got a bye week. Is it a bye week this week?
I think there's 2 teams on bye weeks.
Yeah. I know it ain't as bad as it was last week, but still, it's bye week and then you got injuries. This
Yeah.
is what you call fantasy football.
Yes, sir. Part of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you, D Tate. First one in the building. I see you, D Tate. So I see you, Doomsday Corner Sports. I see you, Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Yankee in the building. So what? Any news? I know Joe Flacco just got traded. Did you see that?
I did. I saw the Chargers and the Ravens just made a defensive trade too. I don't remember who was involved, but no one on the
Oh, they
offense.
made. Oh, was another trade?
Yeah, Ravens and Chargers. Chargers sent a safety and Ravens sent a edge rusher. I forget who they were, but
Not
yeah,
Darren James. It wasn't Darren James, was it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So it's
forget.
like some backup players.
Probably.
Okay. I see you, Paola. Yeah, I see you, Frizz. What's going on? Ian Taylor in the building. CK in the building. Yes, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys. Go ahead and flood the comment section with your questions, whatever you have for waivers. Guys, I tried to do a stash video today. One of my subscribers gave me advice. He said, "Man, drop those waiver wire videos fresh on Tuesdays instead of dropping it early on Monday." So let's see how it does today. Maybe this is the pattern, and maybe I ask y'all to vote on that in the post section and tell me when you think I should drop these videos. But let's talk about the quarterbacks. I only got a few, so if you know anybody, RG, you let me know if they need to be picked up because me, man, sometimes I get tunnel vision in my leagues. I only observe through my leagues. I don't really go to other channels and try to use their guys. So if I miss a person that you think should be on the waiver or you should be picking up off the waivers, let me know as a quarterback. But at first, I'm gonna say Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence. Now listen, am I telling you to go out here and sit your superstar and play Trevor this week? No, but what I'm saying, Trevor saw what that rushing ability can do for that team. So now he's going to be running the ball. So expect 30 to 40 yards. He just can't be dumb running into somebody because sometimes Trevor run around like he's slow. Like he don't know what the hell is going on. So long as he don't go out there and try to run over nobody or do anything crazy, I think Trevor's going to give you a nice little floor of 40 yards, 50 yards rushing. Um, he can do that. He runs a 4.6. And Brian Thomas was getting targets. I was so happy to see Brian Thomas getting
Yeah, I
healthy
know.
targets. How did you feel about that, RG, watching Brian Thomas get targets? Because I know you got a lot of Brian Thomas Jr.
I do. It was nice to see. I really needed that touchdown catch in the end zone, but
Right.
whatever, it happens.
Yeah, me
It's
too,
nice
man. I
to
had
see.
that anytime touchdown. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Doomsday says Ravens traded lineman Dafe Owe
Yeah,
or
that's right.
Owa for Chargers Alani Gilman. Hey, that's some GM type shit right there. I don't know what these guys are gonna do for each team, but hey, they had to do what they had to do. But yes, what do you want to speak anything on Trevor? Did you watch the game?
I watched the game. I don't even know how I feel about Trevor anymore. I drafted him in a lot of dynasty leagues, thinking he was going to turn out to be something, and now I'm kind of just sitting with Trevor Lawrence. So
Right,
I don't know
right,
what to say about him right now.
right. Yeah, I mean, I saw something that you can like build off of. I'm like, okay, Trevor, I like what you're doing. I think you can build off that. I saw how you was targeting guys. I still saw some dumb throws.
Yeah.
But it was less than what it's been. So I think this is something that we can build off of. So if you guys go get Trevor Lawrence, don't leave him out there, especially if you in a single quarterback league and you want to just get another quarterback on your roster in case you need to make a move or injury happens. That's all we doing. Now, if we have another game like that of Trevor, then he'll start moving up and we can start playing him immediately. But right now, I would not leave him out there on my waivers. You don't want to have any regrets. Another player, and we just talked about him earlier with the news, is Joe Flacco. I don't feel great about Joe Flacco, but I got to mention him. How do you feel? You think Joe Flacco is a good waiver wire pickup for week 6?
Maybe if you needed somebody, I definitely think it's an upgrade than Jake Browning. Not too sure if he'll play this week or not, though. Just getting there today, but I mean, we'll see.
Right, right. Any other quarterbacks you think that people should be picking up off waivers, like Sam Darnold or anybody like that?
My big one is Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford. So is he out there on waivers?
I'm looking at it right now in one of my leagues.
Wow, yes, you got to pick him up, guys. He's one of the safe floor guys. Like, if you streaming a quarterback, you can't stream a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. And guess what? This is what makes his numbers be really good, even though they got Kyron Williams. You have a Devontae Adams who's a touchdown machine out there.
Yep.
So in order to get Devontae involved into this offense, you target him in the red zone. He's been great in the red zone for many years. He's had a couple touchdown seasons where he had 18 and 20 touchdowns. Puka he can score touchdowns, but that's not really how they use Puka. But we know Puka is all around top of the line wide receiver.
Yep.
So that's a residual effect for Matthew Stafford. That's why I love Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, one thing
Um,
I can say about that is he's playing Baltimore this week, and CJ
they
Stroud
giving it up.
4 touchdowns on him.
And what I say about Baltimore, they doing what?
I don't know what do you say.
Giving up. They giving it up behind the dumpster.
Oh yeah.
They giving it up behind the dumpster. So hey, if you want to come get you some, go line up. Yes, they playing Baltimore. So that's a great take. Anybody else?
That's probably my big one. Looking at waivers right now, no one I would really target. So yeah, those would
Okay.
probably be the big three.
Okay. And the matchups for Joe Flacco guys is they playing the Packers. Joe Flacco's playing the Packers. That's a pretty good defense. I don't think Joe Flacco's going to start this week, but if the game gets bad, I think they'll put him in. Trevor's playing the Seahawks. That's another elite defense. Seahawks is a top 2 defense in the NFL. So I don't think that's going to really bother Trevor. I think Trevor can play through the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks is a good defense, but I don't think they shutting down
Mm-mm.
just all quarterbacks. They ain't shutting them down. But
No.
I wouldn't look to stream them if I already got a nice starter like a Kyler Murray or somebody.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let's move on to the running backs, guys. Remember, put your questions in the comment section. We'll get to them. Or if you super chat, you get your question answered immediately. But my first running back that I want to talk about is Kamani Vidal. Now, let me tell you why I'm picking him up. He's not a league winner per se. He's not a guy who's going to get 90% touches. He's not a guy that's going to get green zone touches. But he's going to always be in the game and for third downs as a PPR guy. And this team is a passing team. I don't think they run the ball as much when they got Amari Hampton out and this offensive line is struggling. I think they pass the ball, so I think it helps Lad McConkey and Kamani Vidal. And I think Kamani Vidal can get a couple opportunities, kind of like an Imadam Mercado, where he can have a big play and it can help his fantasy week. Hopefully, he doesn't toss the ball out before he gets to the touchdown line. But how do you feel about Kamani Vidal?
So personally, I think I would go for Hassan Haskins over Kamani Vidal, just because he's a Michigan guy. When Harbaugh was there, they have chemistry already, and he just seems to be more like the first down back.
Right. You think the first of the down back can get the goal line? Is that why you going with the first down back?
I just personally think he's going to get used more.
Okay.
I think he's just
Okay.
going to get more touches on the ball, and that's kind of what I'm chasing. I
Right.
don't really want either one of them, but if I would have to pick
Right.
one, I'm going Hassan Haskins.
Right. Would you say this is the same situation as Michael Carter and Imadam Mercado?
Not anymore. I don't. DeMarcado, he's probably losing touches, especially after losing that game for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going into last week, yeah, it's probably about 50-50, I would say. But
Right. 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 If Imadam Mercado scored there, what is his fantasy output?
I think I did the math, and there's maybe like one more point than Michael Carter had in full PPR.
Wow. And maybe they give him another touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy how one play can change the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Another guy, and this is more of a stash guy, but I think you got to get him off waivers, is Ollie Gordon.
Okay.
And the reason why I like Ollie Gordon because Devon A. Chain, not saying that he's volatile, because we got to quit saying he's volatile. He played the whole season last year. And he hasn't missed a game this year. So I don't want to just say he's volatile. But what I will say, if he goes down, I know Ollie Gordon is going to be a running back that's going to get all the green zone touches. And they might bring another back in there to catch some passes, but Ollie Gordon could be maybe a league winner if anything happens. So I don't like leaving guys out that plays on really good offenses that support running backs. So I like Ollie Gordon. Do you think Ollie Gordon is worth at least a stash? off the waivers, or would you leave him out there?
I've picked him up and I've dropped him a couple times, so like he definitely is worth it. He'll get a lot of touches if A Chain goes down, but it's mainly going to be A Chain there.
Right. So
Another,
you speed dating your running backs like speed dating like people speed date girls, right? Hey,
it,
I pick them up, I drop you, I pick you up, and I drop you.
it depends on which RB it is. Yeah.
Right, right. And listen, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. That's how you got to do. I pick up guys and drop them all the time. I want to, especially on a Sunday morning.
Hmm.
And I see a running back Rico Dowdle was a guy, was kind of guys that you pick up and you just, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but let's see. And then next thing you know, the running back goes down. You have something where you can trade. You got trade bait, or you got a starter. So that's why I like picking up Ollie Gordon in case that situation happens.
So I actually
But
dropped Ollie Gordon for Michael Carter, so worked out.
that's see, hey, speed dating. Um, Tank's Bigsby guy from the Eagles. Let me tell you why I'm talking about Tank. Saquon got an injury. Not saying he's gonna miss this week, but you always got to stash guys when you hear about an injury. Because look how it started with it just happened to us Bucky Irving. Oh, he's gonna play. He's just a little bit of an injury. Next thing you know, we know on Thursday he's out for this. He's out for this week. So that's the same thing that can happen with Saquon. We can get Friday and Thursday. Next thing you know, Saquon don't practice. They're gonna hold him out. Now you got to have a guy like Tank Bigsby. You think Saquon's gonna be okay?
I would assume so. Everything that I've seen is no one's really too worried about it. But
Okay.
yeah, that's a good stash. But I also think Will Shipley might be back as well.
Ooh, and that makes it rough. But they traded for Tank. Why would they trade for Tank and you already got Will Shipley? He can't take the workload?
Maybe, yeah, split it up between the two, or just because Will Shipley was hurt, they didn't really have anyone else, so they had to bring somebody in. So,
Right. Big facts. Let's get the likes up, folks. We're gonna get to everybody question if you new in here. We got 50 people and we only got 17 likes. Come on now, let's get the likes up at least to 30.
so
Okay, what's going on, Shaq? I see you, Doomsday.
speaking of injuries, someone you might want to keep an eye on as a late sleeper might be Emmanuel Wilson. I know before going into the bye week, Josh Jacobs did have a knee injury.
Yep.
Not sure how that's going to play out this week, but just something to keep an eye on.
Reason why I haven't talked a lot about Emmanuel Wilson, Marshawn Lloyd.
He's always hurt.
He always is, but do you think it's just gonna be Wilson no matter what's going on with Marshawn Lord?
Um, at least Wilson looks good on the field when he gets his opportunity, so I think he's
Yeah.
going to be the number two guy. He started to get a lot of work in the Dallas game when Josh Jacobs got hurt, so that's what
Right.
up.
Got you. Got you. Okay, I got a few more guys. Some of these guys are stash guys, but this is still waivers. So you have to make waiver moves for stash. Especially if you wake up, because I get up at 3 o'clock sometimes, especially now that my situation is a little bit different. I get up at 3 o'clock and I start green beaning guys. So when I say green bean, that means everything then turned from yellow to green, and I can go over there and pick whatever I want. I can go grocery shopping. So I always notice this. So you want to go and stash guys usually after the waivers are went in. But if you don't do it, if you got like a fab bidding, then you can go ahead and pick up these guys immediately. And that's why I like doing fab. I hate waiver wire priority. I hate it. It's just best. Oh, I'm gonna hold this one for my secret guy. Like, no, man, let everybody bid every time it's time to bid. But RJ Harvey.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna got a lot to say about RJ Harvey, but guys, he's getting standalone value. Now J.K. Dobbins is balling. I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect J.K. Dobbins, but RJ Harvey to me is having standalone value. And if anything happens to J.K. Dobbins, who's never played a 17-game season, RJ Harvey could be a league winner. How do you feel about RJ Harvey, bro?
I like him a lot. I'm glad he finally popped off 2 weeks ago. Definitely made me feel better about all my shares of him. I didn't think he was going to have a good game last week, so I wasn't too worried about it, but I think he's going to start taking off now.
Right, right, right. Next one is Bashal Tootin. Another stash guy, guys. It's time for the rookies to hit. It's time for these rookies to hit, so you have to go ahead and start making a move now. You can't wait for them to have a big game. If you wait for them to have a big game, it's going to be over. So right now is probably the last week that you can go and spend the right amount of trade capital value, or you can pick them up and nobody's really going to fight you. You ain't worried about having to spend a bunch of money or fab on them. So this is the time to do it before they break up. RJ Harvey might cost you a little bit. He might already be on a roster. Use this information for what you see fit. If these guys not on your waivers, you can still make a move on them. So that's what I say. So yeah, Bashir Tootin, and I think if anything happens to Travis Etienne, who's never played a 17-game season, he could be a league winner. How you feel about Bashir Tootin?
I like him a lot, actually. I don't think Travis Etienne's going to be on the team next year, and I think it's
I
going to
don't
be.
either. Yep. Got a super chat from my homie Doomsday Corner Sports. He says, "TD, what you think about Pearsall? I love Pearsall.
Yep.
Man, he's injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
He's been injury prone since high school, college. He's a smaller guy, right? Pause, but he is very. You can't stay in front of him. He's a phone booth guy. So if he's active and he's practicing through the week, I need him to practice. I don't need no way we're gonna hold him out to Saturday. I need him to practice a couple times, at least limited practices, and then I'm gonna play him, bro. So if he's active and he practice all week, you have to play him in the flex. Now, unless you got a really, really great team. How do you feel about Ricky Pearsall this week?
If he plays, I'm playing him.
Yep, me too. Me too. Um. Okay, the next guy is going to be Brashard Smith. Now, Kareem Hunt is getting the goal line touches, but they kind of fading these guys out. And Isaiah Pacheco was the biggest trap back it was. Let's talk about Isaiah Pacheco a little bit. How did you feel about Isaiah Pacheco coming into this season?
I thought he was going to be better than what he showed last year, but not really at all.
Tell me, why do you think they not using him? I don't think it's just he's not talented. I think this is what I always have said, and this is what I mean, it happened. There's so many reasons for why this is happening, but this is not this is not a what I would call a running back goal line team.
Mm-mm.
This is a Pat Mahomes team. When they get down there, they want Pat Mahomes to throw it in there. So why would you? I wouldn't take a running back like a Isaiah Pacheco when he's not gonna always get that opportunity to score. He might run it, have a great run for 60 yards, and then they might fake it to him and throw it into Travis Kelce. So to me, that bothers me. That's why I never took Isaiah Pacheco. But I like Brashard Smith. I think he can come into a Jerick McKinnon role, even though Isaiah Legley does a little bit of that. I think Brashard Smith can come into that role and help give you like a flex play floor. How do you feel about Brashard Smith?
I like him. It's just a matter of time before he starts getting more touches. I thought he looked like the best RB on the team yesterday, so it's just going to be a little bit of time before he really starts getting more touches. But I think he is a good stash.
Right. I agree too. And last but not least, uh okay, yeah, that's all for the running back. Do you got any running backs that you want to talk about?
I have one more, and it's just something to keep an eye on. It would be Trevor Etienne, actually. At the
Ooh.
end of the Dolphins
Rico
Panthers game,
Dowdle.
Rico did get hurt, so Trevor went in for, once he went down. Not too sure if how hurt Rico is or anything. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but I believe
Right.
Trevor would be the starter if Rico's out. And I don't think Chuba's playing this week either.
Right. I think Trouble might go to IR, to be honest.
He could.
Um okay, let's move on to wide receivers. The first wide receiver I want to talk about is going to be Calvin Ridley. Now listen, picking him up off waivers is different than drafting him. So, if I get down on my luck and I have to date a girl that I'm not really into, that's different. If I'm so to me, it's just the difference of how you get a person or how you pick up a player. So I'm not picking up Calvin Ridley and playing him in the flex in week 6 is great. That's great value. Drafting him in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round was terrible value.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Calvin Ridley could be a league winner according to what your team needs is. So if you need him as a flex play, I think you need to pick this guy up off the waivers. And he's playing the Raiders. They giving it up behind the dumpster. Cam Ward looked a little bit better, but how do you feel about Calvin Ridley? Would you pick up Calvin Ridley?
Depending on how many bench spots I had, maybe. I'm actually hoping he gets traded here before the deadline. I have him on a
That's
few
a
teams.
possibility. Right.
So that would be the highest hope I have for him at this
Right.
moment in time.
Right. Right. Um, Another guy I want to talk about is more of a deep waiver wire pickup. It's going to be Jimmy Horn. And the coaches will keep coming out. Last week they said we're gonna give him more snaps, and then after the game they was like we're gonna give him even more snaps. He's gonna be our slot guy before the end of the season is over. So he's gonna be a fourth quadrant breakout. I've talked about Jimmy Horn all off season. I said he was one of my top wide receivers in this draft,
Yep.
and it looks like he's gonna be able to get that slot role and see. With Ted McMillan, they two different players. That's why I talk about phone booth guys. You like, what are you talking about phone booth? Why are you talking about? Because you have to distinct these guys. Ted is a jump ball guy, but they don't have any speed demons for Bryce Young. When Bryce Young played for Alabama, he had speed demons. He had Jamison Williams. I don't think he played with Waddle, but he had a lot of speed wide receivers from Alabama, and that helps him as being a smaller guy. So I think Jimmy Horn gives him more separation where he don't have to throw contesting catches a lot. How do you feel about Jimmy Horn going
I,
against the Cowboys?
I like Jimmy Horn a lot. Not too sure how many touches he's going to get, but it was nice to see him finally getting some work this weekend. He's a really good receiver. He just needs to beat out a few people, which I definitely think he can.
Right. Really good point from somebody in the comment section. Tug Drug Fishing says Coker is coming back. Do you think? I think even though with Coker he's good, I don't think he's the same phone booth player like Jimmy. Not saying that Jimmy's better than him or anything, but Jimmy brings something to this team that no other wide receiver can bring. That's what I think the difference is. I think Coker just more. He might be better than Xavier Leggett, but I don't think he can do what Jimmy can do for Bryce Young. How do you feel about Coker coming back?
Um, the team needs something. I definitely think Jimmy's got the best footwork on out of anybody on that team. He's definitely a
Right.
good slot person. Coker's a good number two, though. I feel like.
Yes, I agree. Yep. Um, so I'm gonna mention Xavier Leggett with that type of first round draft capital. He had a touchdown. It's disgusting, but if you in a deep league, you can pick him up. I see you sitting in the weeds, Fantasy Network. I see you sitting in the weeds. But Xavier Leggett, his draft capital is good. I mean, I'm not telling you to pick him up and start him, but if you in a 16 team league, this is a guy that you could put in the flex and play him if you needed to. Um, Another guy I want to talk about is Jalen Hyatt. Darius Slayton from the Giants is out. I've been waiting on Jalen Hyatt for 2 or 3 years. I don't know what the hell Brian Daboll. I don't know if he's working hard. I don't know if they're gonna cut him. What the hell is Jalen Hyatt? But he could play in college. He played against tough competition. He played against Surtain and was killing Surtain. I mean, you might say college. How can you kill Surtain in college and then you get to the pros? You can't even make the starting lineup. That something don't make sense to me. So I like Jalen Hyatt as a stash wire pickup in a deep lead if you need a wide receiver. How you feel about Jalen Hyatt for the Giants?
I like Jalen Hyatt a lot when he first came out, but it just doesn't seem like they're using him at all right now.
Right, big facts. Travis Hunter. Yeah, I think people could have dropped him. I told people, listen, move on, do what you got to do. But now you see, I think he's gonna play wide receiver. I'm not saying he ain't gonna play no corner, but they're gonna make sure he's out there because they need Trevor to develop. They need this offense to flow. So I think Travis Hunter is one of the top pickups at the wide receiver position if he's out there on your waivers. How you feel about Travis Hunter?
Um, he had a good game yesterday. He looked really good. I think it really just depends on who they play. If there's going to be really good receivers that they're playing, I think he's going to play more corner that game.
Right,
Like yesterday, I think he played a lot of receivers, so they definitely needed him there. So it's really hit or miss. Like it could go one way or the other, but he showed he can be a good player, though.
right. Um, let's see. I'm gonna talk about Malik Washington. He had about 5 or 6 manufactured targets. Tua's looking a little bit better. They're getting better a little bit each week. But if you need a deep play, I think Malik Washington is a guy who can score from anywhere on the field. It's just not, I don't think he's gonna be a league winner, but he could give you a bye week replacement numbers. How you feel about Malik Washington and they playing against the Chargers this week, which is a pretty good defense?
I like Malik Washington a lot. He's definitely a speedster. He could definitely. He's probably the number two on that offense. Besides, like if you count Darren Waller as a pass catcher, but
Right,
they're gonna definitely design something up for him. Mike McDaniel's is in the hot seat right now. I was seeing earlier today, so they got to change something up. Hoping to see more of an explosive Dolphins offense this week, but we'll see. That
right,
defense hasn't been looking as good as it used to at the beginning of
right,
the season, so we'll see. They could definitely make something happen.
right. Another guy, one of my favorite players, I'm mad that he didn't play last week, is Cavante Turpin. With Dak Prescott playing out of his mind, I think the residuals of Cavante Turpin playing there, they need an explosive guy. That's why they got Cavante Turpin, and his targets has been coming up. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill, but I see he's on that type of trajectory where he might start as a return guy And next thing you know, he started on the team and getting some 5 or 6 targets. So I think Cavante Turpin needs to be picked up or paid attention to. How do you feel about Cavante Turpin?
Mm, I don't really know a whole lot about him. I was more of a Tolbert person, but Tolbert really burned me this
Zero
last week.
points?
Yeah.
That is crazy. And Dak Prescott had a good game, bro. I don't know. You tell me,
I
RG.
lost the league by 2 points and just needed a catch in a yard or 10 yards from Tolbert. Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, that was crazy. Um, Jamison Williams. I think people might drop him.
Yeah, I can see that. I played him and he
I'm
burned.
picking him up. And guys, this is for my team. You don't got to do what I'm doing. But on my team with Jamison Williams, I'm starting them because I'm 4-1 in the league that I have, and I'm in a other couple other leagues. I might be 500, I might be undefeated, but I'm just gonna keep playing him because what I'm not gonna do is he go out and have a good game and he's on my bench. And the reason why I can do that because I've been paying attention and he was one of my top guys on my 70 cent hit list. He might not do shit for the whole season,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna play. If he do boom, I will have it. So I'm not gonna let him boom in his first or second quadrant without me having him in his act in the lineup. Guys, sometimes you got to be resilient, and that's what I am with DK Metcalf. A lot of my wide receivers that I like boom guys. So in order for me to get to a boom, I have to play him even when it's bad matchups. I can't sit there and just wait till some honey matchup because they don't get targets. You can't read their game script. So you just have to play these guys. And that's what I'm doing with Jamison Williams. How do you feel? Would you pick up Jamison Williams if he gets dropped?
I probably would. I really thought Jameson was going to take another step forward this year and break out, but the few targets that he has gotten, it doesn't seem like him and Golf are on the same page. And only had one target last game, so I'm not too sure what's going on.
Maybe
I,
they
really,
didn't need him. I
I
don't
thought
know.
he was going to have a huge game plan in the Bengals, but apparently not.
Right. We got another super chat from CK. Appreciate you, CK. He says always on point. Love the show. Thank you, bruh. I'm glad that you're here, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Um, Another guy, this is like my second favorite wide receiver, second or third, is Rashid Shaheed. Y'all know I was big on Rashid Shaheed last year, and he was the top 5 wide receiver until he got hurt last season.
Yep.
Well, listen, Spencer Rattler, man, that's what I've been waiting to see that. Uh-oh. Guys, Rashid Shaheed, like, he's the same value as Jamison Williams now. Rashid Shaheed is the same value. I think it's the same play. So if you had Jamison Williams and you want to put Rashid Shaheed in, I think it's the same type of play. I love the big play ability by Rashid Shaheed. That can win you a week. And you got this guy probably off waivers. So if he's on your waivers, go get him. And I think you got a number 2 wide receiver. I said what I said. I think you have a number 2 wide receiver for you. Is it always going to be boom games? No. It's going to be some 8-point games. But I went and looked at his game script from the first quadrant going into the second quadrant, and he haven't gave you a game below 9 points. That's pretty damn good for a wide receiver, right, RG?
Yeah, I'm big on Shaheed. I love Shaheed.
Me too. Me too. Um, Another boom guy that I like is Luther Burden because I like this offense. I think Caleb Williams is getting ready to boom. I think this Chicago team can make the playoffs. Caleb Williams only gonna get better, and when he get the discipline down, whoo, when he learns Ben Johnson's offense, just like Jared Goff, we all like, I don't want no Jared Goff. Jared Goff sucks. He was just a throw in for them, and they're gonna get another quarterback next year. Well, Jared Goff just got a big time deal for $200 million. So it looks like they're gonna be okay. So Ben Johnson can do that for Jared Goff. He can do it for Caleb Williams. So I love Luther Burden for the big play. I think DJ Moore gets traded before the trade deadline. How do you feel about Luther Burden?
I'm big on Luther Burden. He's going to be the slot guy there. He was hand chosen by Ben Johnson. It's just a matter of time before DJ Moore is out of that team.
Right. All right, let's get into the tight ends.
One
Any
guy,
wide receivers?
one guy I do want to mention is Alec Pierce. He's been out the last 2 games with a concussion, but he does get 5, 6 targets a game, and he's one guy that can take a 70-yard touchdown to the house.
Yes. Yes. The only thing that worries me, man, is just a lot of wide receivers. You got Doolin. You got
I think Doolin was in because Pierce hasn't been in.
okay.
And it doesn't really seem like they're using Downs, which is fine with
Right.
Pittman now. But as a long shot who could be a boom play, I like Alec Pierce.
I do. I like Alec Pierce. I just if he didn't get the concussion, I think that he would at least gave us 10 points the last 2 weeks.
The
That's the type of wide receiver he is, and they are looking to get him the ball.
2 out of 3 games, he got double-digit points.
Yep. All right, tight end. I'm gonna go. My number one tight end pickup of the week is gonna be Mason Taylor. I told a lot of you to play Mason Taylor last week. Hopefully you did. He boomed. He got 12 targets. So to me, he could be one of the best pickups off waivers this week with the 12 targets. Also, the Jets is one of the best garbage teams in the whole NFL. Where in garbage time, they're gonna score a lot of points when you have a player like Justin Fields. So I like Mason Taylor. They're going against the Broncos, which is a tough matchup, but I'm still willing to play him at the tight end position. How do you feel about Mason Taylor?
He was actually my pick before you said it, so I'm going to pivot to somebody else. So
Okay.
I agree everything you say.
Right. Theo Johnson is just a touchdown upside guy. I mention him, but I don't like touchdown upside guys. Just depends on on a bye week. Yeah, I will start Theo, but just to put him in my lineup and think I'm gonna be able to play him every week, no. I'd rather have Mason Taylor or somebody. But Theo, they are playing against the Eagles. Do you think Theo can carry this on for the rest of the year?
So they're playing Theo actually in the slot. I do like Theo Johnson a lot. I don't think he's going to have a very good game against the Eagles, but I think rest of the season he could definitely get you double-digit points every week.
Got you. Okay. And the next guy, y'all know who I'm about to talk about. This is the guy that I was on my 70% hit rate, and he just now got his first touchdown this week. Is David Njoku going against the Steelers. Now, listen, with a quarterback that's short, I think David Njoku is going to eat. And if Shadir comes in the game, and when he comes into the game, they're going to target David Njoku. Joe Flacco, I don't know what the hell happened between Joe Flacco and David Njoku, but he wasn't looking for David Njoku. So now, I think David Njoku, if you see him out on the waivers, pick him up and start him every single week. How do you feel about David Njoku? Do you think he's just a spot start, or you think you can sit him and forget it? Start him
Um,
and forget it.
I like Njoku. I don't think he's a set it and forget it type of player though, just because Fannon's getting a lot of work too. I think their targets are going to go up now that Cedric Tillman's on IR, so he's going to do a bit better. Um, but that was Dylan Gabriel's first game. Quarterback's best friend's a tight end, so we'll see if it continues or not. But
Right,
I mean, I can see him getting double-digit points every week.
right, right. All right, and my DST off the waiver wires pickup of the week is the Raiders. And they playing against the Titans, and the Titans is dumpster fire. They shouldn't. I don't even know how the hell they won that game. So Raiders with Max Crosby coming off the edge, that's a couple turnovers right there. Nobody can block Mason Crosby on the Titans, especially with a rookie quarterback who wants to run around and try to. He doesn't. He's not in rhythm at all. I think it's bad coaching. So I love the Raiders to pick them up this week if you need a defense off the waiver wire. You got a do you got a defense off the waivers?
Mine is the New England Patriots. They're playing
Mm.
the Saints this week. Christian Gonzalez is back. They've looked good so far. They just beat the Bills, so that's who I'm going with.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. And what was your tight end? You said you had a new tight end.
I'm gonna go with Jake Tunges, especially if Mac
One
Jones.
more week? Is he playing one more week?
I don't think Kittle's playing this week. They said it's a long shot for this week.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going with just Jake Tonjes just this week. Then Kittle should be back. As a Kittle owner, it's nice to see they're using the title at tight end, but it definitely sucks that he's going to be out another week. I have him in
Right.
just about every single redraft league I'm in.
Me too.
So, but yeah, last 2 weeks he's been a top 10 tight end. He's gotten 17 and 14 points the last 2 weeks.
Ooh,
So, yeah, he's a play
that's a
for.
lot of points at the tight end position.
They're playing Tampa Bay too, and you can throw all over them.
Yep. Okay. So let's get to some of these questions, knock some of these questions out. Uh D Take says, "What's good, bruh?" Yankee says, "What up, TD?" Doomsday says, "What up, TD?" Big Will put the 100 symbol. Appreciate you, Big Will. Ian Taylor says, "What up, RG?" So who leads the Chargers backfield? TD. I'll let you go ahead, RG, and answer that.
I think it's Mason Haskins, but you think otherwise.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Haskins starting, but the guy that I won't, I think it's gonna be Kamani Vidal because the way the team game script has been the last couple of weeks. It looks like they've been passing the ball. So I think Kamani fits in with that. I don't think they're gonna line up in double tight and run the ball with Hassan Haskins a lot. I think they keep throwing it more, which is Kamani Vidal. I think.
So I thought that way with the Cardinals last week with DeMarcado, but it seemed to be Michael Carter. So I don't.
Right.
We'll
Well,
see.
that touchdown,
Yeah.
it played out that way into the touchdown.
Well, Michael Carter out touched him
Yeah,
way.
right. And we figured that that's what would
Yeah.
happen. We didn't know who. We knew that Michael, because they kept saying that Michael Carter was going to be the starter, but I
Yeah.
wasn't going to get off of DeMarcado knowing that you're not going to get Michael Carter all the touches.
They had the same
But
amount of targets too.
who? Yeah, he caught. Yeah, he caught by what? 4 passes. Michael Carter.
I think they both had 4 targets. They might have had 3 catches each. I think.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I think it's Kamani. He think it's Haskins, and Haskins probably will get the green zone touch. But I believe that at that point in time, it will be hot hand approach. If Kamani's looking good, because Kamani played at Troy and could run the ball, he was pretty good. He was a pretty good back. So I think
I'm,
it's gonna be a hot hand approach.
I'm just waiting for them to sign Gus Edwards.
To do what?
To sign Gus Edwards.
Yeah, I heard them talking, man. A jag. It's over for Gus, the bus.
We'll see.
Fred says, "Yo, what up? What up, Fred?" CK says, "Does Hines signing push Hassan to the top of the depth chart?" Does
They just
Hines? So Naheem Hines?
yeah, they just signed him today. Not
Yeah,
worried about it at all.
yeah. This is going to be disgusting. But what I want to hold on to while I watch all the disgusting stuff happen is Kamani. That's what I do, just to see what's going to happen. You don't even got to start him. Paola said, "What's up, bro? What's up?" CK says, "Vancouver in the house." Paola says, "Should I take a chance on T. Higgins now with Flacco thinking of trading Shaheed for T. Higgins?" Listen, I wouldn't do it, but I'm not saying that's. I think that's a really great move because you know Joe Flacco can throw jump balls. T. Higgins going to get more targets, so I get it. You getting off a guy that you getting off waivers to go get T. Higgins. That might be the move. What? Excuse me. What do you think?
Um, I don't know, man. That's tough. I think Flacco is an upgrade, but I don't think he's much of an upgrade from Browning. That O line's so bad. Like, I really don't want T. Higgins.
Right. I agree. I
Someone
agree
did
with you.
drop him in one of my leagues, so I did put a waiver claim in for him. We'll see. I doubt I'll ever
Right.
keep him, but
Right.
honestly, I think Shaheed might be the better play, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, but I try to keep my personal opinion out of it and
Hmm.
just off of rankings, off of what's going on. T. Higgins, that's a great move. But like you said, I would rather have Shaheed on my team. I would rather have Shaheed than to have T. Higgins.
There's a big difference from Burrow or Flacco and Browning.
Right. But yeah, so the consensus move would be trade him and get T. Higgins. But I think me and RG, we like Shaheed a little bit better personally. Tim J says, "How's it going?" What's going on, Tim? It's going good, bro. I appreciate you being here. Doomsday says Ravens traded lineman. Okay, we did that one. Yankee says, "What's the update on Chuba?" I don't. He's still hurt. I think he's gonna go to IR. He says, "I didn't pick up Rico, and now I'm thinking of picking up either Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt or Rico. It's got to be Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I'm pick because I'm thinking long game and long game. Even this week and going forward, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt gonna eat. So I will pick up Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt over Rico. Who would you pick up, Rico or Ja'Cory Krosky?
Um, is it a long term or short term play?
Uh, to me, you break it down however you see fit because they making the move, right? So if you
If
want,
it's just a 1 or 2 week type of thing, I think I'm going Rico because they're playing Dallas this week and it's a revenge game.
yes,
Long term, probably Bill.
right. To me, I will automatically go long term unless I'm one for some, like I'm 1-4 or something like that. Because I think Ja'Cory can give you a boom week this week too, and he can boom for the rest of the year. Who I think he's gonna beat out Rico. I think he's gonna be the starter. But what if Tuba come back and they just 50-50?
So Chuba does go on IR. Their bye week is week 14. That would be a lot of play for Rico.
Ooh, cutting edge content right there, bruh. That's cutting edge content. I'm. Mm, mm. So
Not a
it's
bad
Truba.
schedule either.
Mm. I'm still like Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I still like him. He says, Did pick up Rashad?" Okay, White, and hopefully he will play this week. Start Ja'Cory Krosky, Rico, or White. That's tough. Who's Ja'Cory Krosky playing?
Um, let me see. Where's Washington? Bears. Monday night game.
Who they playing?
The Bears on Monday night.
Ooh, that's a good matchup. Ja'Cory, I'm going with Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt over Dowdle, but I think it's tomato just for this week. But I'm going with Ja'Cory. Like, look, you can't put that back in the bottle. That looked phenomenal. No, Rico looked phenomenal too, but I think Ja'Cory Krosky might be a better talent. But I'm not gonna sit here and try to split those hairs. That's dumb right now. Both of these guys are really good, so I'm gonna go with Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Who you playing? Rico?
If he's healthy, I'm playing Rico, but either one's a good play, honestly.
Right, it is. Silent Static says, "What hot take did you get right this year? Bro, I got a lot of hot takes right. I'm trying to think. Let me think of one. What's one of my hot takes if you can remember?
Mm, Chuba, but that was last year.
Right,
Brian Thomas was last year.
right.
Uh, who did you say this year?
Drake May.
Yeah, you were on Drake.
I was on Drake May. Um, who was I fading? Maybe one of my fades videos.
You were fading Amara, but you were wrong about that one.
Yes, yeah, that's right. That was wrong. We're gonna see. But I think Amara,
Oh,
man.
you're in on CMC, and he's number one RB right now.
Yes. But going to who was we talking about? Um, Amara. Yes,
Yeah.
Amara. Let me explain that. Guys, I thought this team would be more of a running team, especially with Ben Johnson leaving. But no, they letting Jared Goff cook. So as long as actually they throwing the ball more than they have in the past, so that's off of my game script. Amara is going to be a top 5 parental wide receiver. So I was wrong on that. But I'm trying to think of it's a couple other really good I would say hot takes.
I can't
I'm trying,
think of any right now.
right. But I had a few. I'm trying to think at the wire. It was some guys that I took later in the draft. Tita, you were on Ibuka. Yeah, but I wasn't on Ibuka in the off season though. Jimmy Horn. I say Jimmy Horn. That was one of the guys that I was on, but he hasn't did a lot yet.
Yeah.
Uh, hold on. Let me go through this. I got to give one of my hot takes. The Dolphins. Um, the Eagles. Yeah, it's probably my fade videos, man. I told people to fade AJ Brown this year. I wasn't picking Brian Thomas Jr. I said draft the quarterback early. It looked good early until Lamar went down. Josh Allen is balling. Um, yeah, that's it. I'll give you that for right now. But I'm gonna look that up, man. Go to it's called my 70% hit video. And those are all my players that I talked about. From top tier guys all the way down to sleepers. It's like 20 some guys, 24 guys. So go to that video and that's gonna give you some of my hot takes this year. Appreciate that, Silent Static. Okay, let me go back up. Okay. All right. So Yankee says Trevor has a tough schedule though for the next few weeks. But that's the only way. Sometimes you got to stash these guys, even though they got tough schedules. You still have to go because if you wait, you probably won't be able to get them. But unless you playing in a fab league and you're just gonna wait to bid on them if you need to. Yankee says Trevor. Okay, yeah. CK says Chase gonna eat with Flacco. Do you think Chase is gonna eat with Flacco?
Like I said, I think he's a slight upgrade from Browning, but I don't think it's going to be anything really. Like they should have gone out and got Jameis Winston, if I'm being honest with you.
Maybe they wouldn't trade Jameis. I don't think they would trade Jameis probably, but I think Chase is we're going to is going to eat with, almost with any type of quarterback. Chase is going there. He's going to have some down weeks now, but when he go boom, he's going to go boom.
He's probably got like 4 booms left in him this year, but
Yep, yep.
he's going to have a lot
John,
of bad games.
right. John Parham says, "Told y'all Jaguars over Chiefs. Great job, bruh. I wouldn't have picked it. I wouldn't have picked it." Stafford a gunslinger, says John. Doomsday says, "What do you guys think of Dart?" I like Dart. I like him as there. I like the rushing upside, and I think he's only going to get better each week.
I like Dart. It's not really someone I'm looking to get much into this year.
Tim J says Flacco would definitely help Chase. Will he also help out Chase Brown? I think Chase Brown will be decent. I think he'll be a little bit better. I think he'll give you some nice floors, but I'm gonna have to wait and see before I start playing Chase Brown again. That's another miss of mine. Chase Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson. Those are 3 misses on my 70% hit rate. Got another super chat from Neil D. He says, "Drop Ertz for Basin Taylor. Got Jawan too."
I probably would.
So if you need to drop Ertz, you got to because you got to make moves. Your bench is clogged up. Then yeah, drop Ertz. But I'm definitely playing Taylor over Ertz this week. But I don't like dropping Ertz because Ertz was a top 5 tight end with Jaden Daniels.
If you're gonna
Nate,
drop anyone, drop Juwan Johnson.
yes,
They just had 2 tight ends come back from injury, so
there you go, there you go. Yeah, so I would drop Jawan before I drop Ertz. Appreciate that, Neil D. Uh, Yankee says, "What do you guys think of Stroud?" He's still CJ Stroud. I'm
yeah.
still playing Nico. I'm still playing CJ Stroud according to what's going on. Like I'm now listen, I think he's still a streaming quarterback. I don't think he's a must start every week. But I mean, if the matchup is right, I would go ahead and play it, and I wouldn't care what happened. How do you feel about CJ Stroud rest of the year?
He'll probably have a couple more boom games, but it's not someone I'm playing really.
Right. Lisa says, "Hey TD, what's going on, Elisa? How did you do this week?" Michael White says, "Do you think New England is good defense this week?" Yes, according to my boy RG. Brought that up. He said they're going against the Saints. I guess I'm a little worried. I seen Shaheed go for a deep play, so I'm a little bit worried about picking him because I did see that, and I thought about picking the Patriots, but I was like, shit, Spencer Rattler might come out there and hit him for some chunk plays. But
No, Gonzalez is on him.
Gonzalez. Okay, not if Gonzalez is on him. You think that's who he's gonna guard or Olave?
Olave, I think, has been doing a lot of slot work, so I don't really see
Okay.
him going in the slot.
They finally using Olave like I told them they should use him last year. Put his
Yep,
ass in the slot. He a top slot wide receiver.
yep, 10 targets a game.
Right. He's not no outside wide receiver. He's too small. Pause. Michael White, what's up, bruh? Um, Eric says Rasheed Rice, Dobbins for Drake London. Rasheed Rice and Dobbins for Drake London. Who wins that trade?
Rasheed Rice and Dobbins.
No, I'm going with Drake London. I guess it matters about your team. So if I got J.K. Dobbins as my RB3, or he's my flex play, and then I got Rasheed Rice and I'm waiting on him, and Jamison Williams is one of my wide receivers. I think that it works for that situation. But if I just like the Drake London side because I believe that's you get more constant, more targets that you can count on each week.
I
I
mean,
would go with the Drake. I would go with the Drake London.
I think Rasheed Rice and Drake London are essentially the same type of player.
And is Dobbins going to start for the rest of the year over R.J. Harvey?
Definitely could.
He could. He could. They could
Even
split the whole season. They could.
even if it's a 50-50 split, getting
Right.
roughly the same player plus Dobbins, that's kind of where I'm leaning.
Right. Some players, man, I just don't feel good about getting Dobbins in a trade.
It doesn't sound good, but
Yeah, right. But he's
better.
producing. He's
Yeah,
producing. Right.
I'll take 20 points a week.
Right. Right. I agree. I understand that. And then when something happens, that's when you're gonna be like, man, I knew better. That's that's what I don't like that shit. That's the reason why I'm like, I don't know. Shaq Graham, what's up, Shaq? He says Ertz, Mason, or Barner. I'm going with Mason all day, but stash Ertz. This week and the rest of the season, I'm chasing the tight end position right now. Yeah, I would stash Ertz and I would play Mason and I would drop Barner. What would you do?
Um, Definitely play Mason this week. Honestly, it's a tough decision. I think the Seahawks are going to start using Barner a lot more. Probably
They still got Elijah or Warhol too.
true. I just think Barner's better, but yeah, probably stash Ertz.
Manny X Flowers. What's up, bruh? Michael White says, should I pick up Thornton? I believe I think he's trying to say he believed that he's going to be good. I don't know if that's Dante Thornton or if that's the
I,
Thornton from Kansas City.
I would assume Kansas City. I wouldn't. I think Worthy's going to take that role as soon as Rice comes back.
Right. Doomsday says Mason is looking the best and gets the most targets. Right. And that's to me, that's the science that I'm going to use to make that move for my tight end position. Slick Rick, what's up, bro? He said the Miami line is bad. If A-Chain goes down, those other Miami backs probably won't be worth starting unless you are in a 16-team league. But listen, this is what I have seen in the NFL. I have seen where teams are coming out trying to pass, their quarterbacks are getting sacked almost every single play, and then all of a sudden they go into a bye week or something, and they say, you know what, we got to get tough and we're going to run the ball. And the concentrated targets goes to like a guy. Cleveland did it. Cleveland was throwing the ball. Joe Flacco was throwing picks. They was doing all kinds of shit. And then they say, you know what? We're going to have to get Quinshawn. We about to run to that at Green Bay. And they won that game doing that. So I believe that if something was to happen and they got fired, somebody got fired or whatever, that Ollie Gordon or A-Chain went down, Ollie Gordon will be used and get 20 touches just to control the line of scrimmage because you can't throw the ball a bunch of times when you lost A-Chain and your team is in shambles. So that's why I like Ollie, but what you're saying is right, man. That offensive line is garbage. What do you think about Ollie Gordon? Do you think would ever get 20 touches if something happened to A-Chain?
He probably would. I just don't know if they would be really worth starting though.
Right, right. Well, they are playing it. They do play the Jets in the division.
That's one game, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
that's one game. And sometimes that be the key. Imagine you got Jonathan Taylor playing against the Seahawks, and then this guy got Ollie Gordon going against the Jets. You like, damn, man. You know, sometimes the matchups matter a little bit.
True.
Oh, Renato, what's up, Renato? He says Mason T or Theo J. Thank you, TD. I'm going with Mason Taylor.
Yeah.
Yankee says, is Cup a good flex to pick up from waivers? Listen, man, this is what I'm gonna say. I don't turn nothing down but my collar when it comes to a player like Cup. Cup might give you 3 bad weeks and then go off for 30 points. So it just depends on what you got to do. If you're desperate, do whatever it takes to get it done.
So
So Cup is always a good streamable wide receiver.
I saw something yesterday, yesterday that Cup had like it was one or three less targets than JSN, so he's on far less
Wow.
targets.
Good cutting edge content right there, RJ. Appreciate you. That's why I got you up here, bro. That's good shit. That lets you know, like, even though he ain't getting the output, but he's still getting the targets. Doomsday said, hit that like button. Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 50 people in here, and we only got 30 some likes. Joseph Pollard says, Flacco cannot move, dude. Needs to go sit down, very non-mobile, and cannot zip the ball anymore. I don't think you're lying. I don't understand what the Cincinnati Bengals was doing. I don't think they could get anybody. So you know what, like guys, when you see him, like, you with this 600-pound girl, maybe he can't get nobody else. So who am I to judge? Maybe that Joe Flacco was the best quarterback that they could pick up or trade for. Like you said, you already said that you don't like Flacco. Shaq
Yeah.
Graham says, how is the wide receiver landscape looking? I'm not sure about Scary Terry right now. Also has Sutton and JMO. So yeah, Scary Terry, I think he's gonna go on IR. He's got a quad injury. Sutton and J-Mo, you just got to start him. If you want to bench him because of the situation, that's fine. But Sutton is a star. He's a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Neil D says drop Ertz for Mason Taylor. No, I would try to stash Ertz, but if you absolutely have to start, if you actually have to drop somebody, then yeah, it's okay to drop Ertz, but I would prefer not to because of the chemistry that him and Jaden Daniels have. Slick Rick says, isn't Marshawn Lord out on injury? Yes, but this is we talking about waivers. Sometimes you got to pick these guys up when it's their time to come back. I think Marshawn been on IR for what? Isn't this his 4th week? It was out the week 1.
Could be. Not too sure.
Right.
He's always hurt, so I don't really put much attention into him.
Nino says dropping Hawk for Mason Taylor, Njoku, or Fannin. Ooh, I'm gonna go with Mason over Njoku, especially when Njoku and Fannin is fighting each other for targets.
I agree.
Joseph says, yeah, man, Flacco is through. That's why I let him go. Dude gonna get hurt.
Wants to play, though.
Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, happy Tuesday. Hey, everyone. What's going on, Daniel? Appreciate you being here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Fred says, trade Keon and J-Mo for RJ Harvey. Yes. Yes, because you telling me that you don't need Keon and J-Mo. They on your bench. So, and you taking those two players because Keon hasn't been doing enough for me to think that he's a consistent starter. J-Mo ain't done shit, but had like 1 touchdown. So for you to get RJ Harvey, who got standalone value, even though J.K. Dobbins is active, now RJ said that J.K. Dobbins could be the starter the whole season. I don't believe that, even if he stays healthy, but it's possible. He says my running backs are Woody Breach. He does need one more running back.
Yeah.
If you just got Woody and Breach. So yes, I would make that move. Do you think he's overpaying for RJ?
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah. Three Strike says, yeah, what it do, bruh? He says, what to do with Marks and J-Mo. Marks is going to be fine. Don't worry about that game script. That they
Yep.
got so hot, they got so far ahead, bro, that they didn't want him to get hurt. They didn't, because what if Marks goes down? Then they don't have any running backs to come in there. So Nick Chubb, you might say, well, Nick Chubb was out there. Well, Nick Chubb goes down, they still got Marks. They can find another veteran running back, but they can't find another Woody. So to me, I wouldn't worry about Woody's game. J-Mo, do what you want to do with him, brother. If you want to drop him, that's fine. If you want to stash him, that's fine. Me personally, I'm stashing him, and I'm still playing him in a lot of leagues because I know his boom game is coming.
Yep.
And then you can make a decision on if you want to trade him or do whatever you want to do. CK says thoughts on deep stash Coker. I think he's a good deep stash, but Jimmy Horn makes me a little bit nervous. How you feel on Coker?
I like Hooker. He had a good end of the year last year.
So Three Strikes says bench or drop. I think he was talking about Marks and J-Mo. I would start Marks again if I have to. And J-Mo is a bench to me.
Yeah.
Ronaldo says hit the like button. Doomsday has been on the rookie crew for 13 months. Way to be a member of the channel, brother. I appreciate you. CK says time to drop Golden. He had his chance for a breakout game and did nothing. Drop Golden for Gainwell. No, that's not true. Golden had a good last game. He scored like 12 points. CK, I would hold on to Golden. And no, I wouldn't drop him for Gainwell, but I would try to stash Gainwell if I can. But do not drop Golden.
No.
Rashik says, is Jacoby Myers a drop? No.
Mm-mm.
Yankee says, what about Coker? Isn't he a slot guy? He should be playing soon. How do you feel about what they're going to do between Coker and Jimmy Horn?
Best guy will play.
I think so too. And Jimmy had a big catch to help them win. So let's see. Maybe they maybe they move down to Xavier Leggett and let Jimmy and Coker come into those roles.
Definitely could. I don't think Legat's that good.
Tug says Horn is a gadget, I feel.
Yep.
Yeah, but he helped the team win, so you got to give him more gadget plays. Let me ask you this: RG, is Debo a gadget player?
Yeah.
Now I'm not calling them Debo. We're not gonna sit here and talk about Debo running over nobody and doing all of that. That's not what we're saying. But gadget players, Xavier Worthy is a gadget player. Xavier Worthy is a gadget player. That fantasy network says Coke is better than Horn. I don't know. Horn is still a young player. Let's see. Rashid says Allen or Stafford this week. I'm playing Josh Allen automatically. You can ask RG play matchups. You play matchups, RG?
I probably wouldn't with there, but Stafford has a really good matchup.
So what would you do?
It would be tough to bench Josh Allen.
So what you gonna do? Are you starting Josh Allen or Stafford?
Um, Probably play Allen.
I'm playing
Don't,
Allen.
don't be surprised if Stafford has a big game though.
Right. But that I don't chase that, because if you chase that, it'll lead you astray, and then you be chasing, and then you get let down for something huge, and you miss the playoffs. So I'm always playing Allen, but I get it. That's why I like to bring up different perspectives, because I know we all play fantasy different, and it's not always to skin a cat. Ronaldo says Darnold or Stafford. Who's
Stafford.
Darnold playing this week? I think
Uh,
I had this on my what you call it.
Jags.
That's pun intended. um, and Stafford is playing who?
Ravens. I'm playing
I'm going
Stafford.
with I play Stafford too, because those guys are kind of the same tier. You can play matchups with those guys. Rashid says Bengals offense, we back. I don't
Doubt it.
know, Rashid. I can't say that yet. I say Jamar Chase is gonna be okay. That's what I'll say. Tug Drug says Theo is fire. He has a lot of touchdown upside. I like to see him how he does without the touchdown. Mason Taylor had a good game. I don't think he had. Did Mason Taylor have a touchdown?
I think so,
Okay,
but I could
okay,
be wrong.
okay.
But I know every touchdown Jackson Dart has thrown has been to Theo Johnson.
Okay. Neil D says drop Ertz for Mason Taylor. We don't want to drop Ertz. I would rather you stash him and pick up Mason Taylor. Tug Drug says Taysom Hill. Listen, man, I think Alvin Kamara is going to get traded, and I think Taysom Hill and Kendre Miller will be the running backs for this team. Yankee says stash Luther. Yes, stash Luther. Stash Luther Burden. Tug Drug says Kamara getting traded, more Taysom. Yes, there you go, Tug Drug. I agree with you 100%. Chris Vila with the super chat. Appreciate you, bruh. He says he just supported the channel. Thank you, bruh. He said he got the goat on there. Thank you. Deem J's Tally. Let me see, make sure I'm right. Yeah, right. Deem James Tally. What's up, bruh? He says, I need to drop a player. Ollie Gordon, Matthew Golden, Michael Carter. I have too many in the IR slot, and must drop one. Won't let me trade. Okay. I think he has to drop Ollie Gordon.
That's who I would drop.
I'm dropping Ollie Gordon. Fantasy Network says, how you feel about Ryan Florno? Just another guy. I know it's gonna be CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson.
Yep.
After that, Cavante Turpin. So I just can't get into Flournoy right now. Fantasy Network says Tesla coming to take J-Mo job. And you gotta understand he's taking that 100 million. No, what is it?
80,
Sip
I think.
80. So if he takes the job, he has to take the 80 million too. And what I'm saying is they have to know that they just gave this dude $80 million and you're gonna bench him. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't think they're gonna bench him. At least not this year. Next year they could cover up some things and say and start using J-Mo as just a strictly gadget guy. But this year I don't think they can bench J-Mo because you would lose his confidence. You would lose him. Alex says thoughts on Joe Flacco to the Bengals. Um, they had to do something.
Slight upgrade.
Neil D says drop Ertz for Mason Taylor. We answered that already. Like I said, don't drop Ertz. And play Mason Taylor. Yankee says Kyle Pitts or Mason Taylor rest of the season. That's tough. I'm gonna go with Kyle Pitts. I don't feel great about it, but I'm gonna go with Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I think I would agree too.
Casey Hammond says, would you guys start Shakir or Troy Franklin? I probably would start Shakir for a safe floor, but if I needed to boom, if I'm playing against a strong team with good quarterbacks and some boom running backs, I would play Troy. But the safe play is Shakir. He's one of the safest wide receivers in PPR.
Mm-hmm.
Silent Static says, what do you think of Hines? Just another guy. Jimmy, what's going on, Jimmy? He says, what you think of Seattle tight end Barner? I think he's a good tight end, but I would rather have Mason Taylor or Kyle Pitts or somebody like that. But he is going to be a good tight end. And RG said they've been targeting him a little bit lately, right?
Yeah.
Like last couple weeks. Shaq says Mason, Barner, or Njoku rest of the season. I'm going with Mason rest of the season over Barner and Njoku.
Yep.
Conscious Machine, what's up, bruh? Casey says, would you guys... Okay, we did that one already. Shaq says Mason, Barner, Njoku, or Tongues this week. Tungus.
Mason.
I'm going with Mason too. Michael says trade Khalil Shakir and Miller for Kamara.
Yeah.
Woo! Kendre Miller, man, might have a nice role once Kamara leaves. But if this is going to be a stash and you don't have to play these guys immediately, yeah, I say do it. But if you have to play somebody immediately, once you do the trade, I wouldn't do it because I think it's going to take Kamara a little bit of time before he gets traded. They showcasing Kendre, not showcasing him off, but they trying to save Kamara from getting injured in case they need to trade. So this is a long-term move. So if this is a long-term move to help you in the third and fourth quadrant, I like it. Michael says I have Puka, JSN, Odunze, and Johnston. You killed it with those wide receivers. Killer Cuz says, should I claim Hassan Haskins and drop Jordan Mason? No, I wouldn't drop Jordan Mason for Hassan Haskins.
Yeah, definitely not. But what's his name? Aaron Jones is coming back from IR probably this week.
Yankee says he is the reason I'm 4-1, and thanks to you. Thank you, bro. Yankee was talking about I told people to get on Ibuka this year. Yankee says, is Godwin a trade for a few weeks? I have his stash, but need a tight end for Kincaid in week 7, and Pitts is on waivers. Should I drop Godwin for Pitts? Let me tell you something, and you disagree with me, RG. I don't think he needs to worry about streaming a tight end until that week comes up.
Yeah.
Because there's so many guys that he can get and pick up and play.
Yep.
Okay, so he says Godwin a fade for a few weeks. Yes, he is definitely a fade. I have his stash. I have him stash, but need a tight end for Kincaid week 7. Should I drop Godwin for Pitts? You could drop Godwin for Pitts, but I think it's too early to make that decision. But you could. I don't think it's a terrible decision. I don't think Godwin's is ever going to be as good as Ibuka this year or Mike Evans. Shaq says, mind you, I drafted Njoku, then dropped him. Yeah, and that happens. That's why I don't drop certain guys because I don't want that to happen to me. That's why I stay and go down with the ship, and sometimes I lose my ass on it. But a lot of times it works out for me. I'm not giving nobody none of my candy out of my house. Neil D says dropping a bit of fab on him too. B Silver says Jawan Johnson losing value rest of the season. Yes, he's
Yep.
droppable. Silent Static says I thought J-Mo was going to go off this year, but I think Isaac takes some of his targets. Only on the stretch roll now. Sold a lot of my shares already. Right. I think J-Mo games are coming. I think you just got to be a little bit patient. Man, look what we were saying. Look what we were saying about Brian Thomas Jr. week 2. You see how shit done changed now? He getting targets now, so you don't want to sell your house, and then now everybody got to be in the house by 9 o'clock, and you in a trailer or something. Like you want to be careful with whatever move you make. Cody says, I think the Pats will be solid against them. Great D line. Okay, talking about picking up the Patriots D. Sonic Static says, what are you guys' take on Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson? I love Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback
Yep.
going into your third and fourth quadrant. And I said that all season long. Mr. All season. Mr. Sleeper said, "What's up, fellas?" Alicia says, "TD, I'm 4-1 in 2 leagues and 2-3 in my other league. Way to go. Cutting edge content." Christopher says, "You like Franklin this week? Should I drop for Tyquan Thornton or Bourne? I need a boom. I need to drop next week anyway for a quarterback to cover Josh Allen." I think Franklin is the best player over Tyquan Thornton and Bourne.
I would say keep a lookout to see if San Fran's wide receivers are coming back.
There
Matt
you go.
Kendrick Bourne.
Yep. If Jawan Jennings doesn't play, if Ricky Pearsall doesn't play, you got to play Kendrick Bourne out for what he did over Tyquan Thornton and um Franklin. Big growing stuff says Woody skid marks. Playing me. Texas coach was trolling us fantasy. No, man, I think it got game script. I think Woody is going to be fine. Don't drop him because I think you could regret it. Yankee says Mason or Pitts to plug in tight for tight end. I'm going with Pitts over Mason.
I think Mason this week I would go.
Manny X Flower says, where do you guys think Mark Andrews will get traded to?
I doubt he gets
The
traded.
Cincinnati Bengals? Logan says, someone is offering me Love and Marvin Jr. for J.K. Dobbins, Superflex League. Do I take it? Yes. Offering me Love and Marvin Jr.
Yeah.
for J.K. Dobbins? Hell yeah, I'm taking that. Bob says, Sutton, Myers, Allen, Swift, and my flex PPR. Thanks. Pick one.
Sutton.
What Allen is he talking about?
I would think Braylon Allen, but he's on IR.
Who's Chicago playing?
Washington.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Sutton, slightly over Swift. Slightly over Swift. Hennessy Black, what's up, bro? He says Bengals should have traded for Shadur. I wouldn't have done it. Shadur don't want to go there behind Joe Flacco. I mean Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
But I like what you're saying. Christopher says stay away from Ridley and Ayo. Both are on waivers. Yeah, I'm actually picking up Ridley because I know wherever if he gets traded, he's gonna he could be a really good wide receiver. Even if he's a wide receiver 3 for a team, I think he'll be fine. So that's the only reason why that I would stash Ridley if I could. Charlie says Kamani Vidal or Hassan Haskins. We did this. I said Kamani. He said Hassan Haskins. Chris said, should I trade Malik Washington and Hunter Henry for McConkey and Daniel Jones? Yes, I
Yep.
have made. No. Well, yes, I'm still doing it because you want to get the McConkey and you can play matchups if you want to with the quarterback in this situation because both of these guys are playing elite. So to get McConkey, which is the best piece in this, I would do it.
Not really giving up much either.
Yankee says keep Ellick or Godwin to stash. I would say Godwin. I said
Yeah.
Godwin. Ellick or Godwin. I would keep Godwin. Have Ibuka and Rashad in my starting lineup. Oh, okay. But need players for a bye week and have to drop either Godwin or Ellick. So
You
listen,
got, you
wait
got
till
to
that
take
point.
Godwin.
Yeah. Tampa Bay ain't on bye week this week, are they?
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I will wait to do. I think you will get more information about what you need to do. So wait this week before you make that move. I get it. You're trying to be cutting edge and work the waiver wire 2 weeks in ahead, but you have to wait on this one with Godwin. The business circuit says team is Hurts, A-Chain, Junkins, Jamar, Ibuka, Henry, ETN, Kamara, benches, Addison, T. Higgins. Where should I try to improve and who do I trade for? I'm 3-2. So I'm gonna do this question real quick. I like to do that for my members, but I'm gonna do this really quick. I think you Hurts, A Chain, Judkins, Ibuka, Hunter Henry, ETN, Kamara.
Trade Jamar.
That's what I was gonna say too, and get a 2-for-1 deal.
Just had a big week.
And who would you get? What wide receiver would you get?
You could go after
Puka. Not Puka. You can't get Puka, but you can get somebody else.
maybe like a Drake London or She Rice, and then get like
Yeah,
another.
Drake London. Yep, Drake London and another piece. Like you can get something nice, man. Come back to the channel and let me know once you have some offers. Let me know what you're trying to do with the Jamar. Rome says PPR is Kamara a hole. I have Gibbs, Ja'Cory Cross, Kamara, Marks, Henderson, and Dowdle. Yes, Kamara is a hole in case he gets traded, and then you can trade him again or trade one of these other players. Let's see. Clayton Roach with the super chat. Appreciate it, bro. He says better quarterback streamer this week, Mac Jones or Tua. I'm going with Mac Jones.
Yeah, more than likely.
Rome says, okay, we did that one. Big Growing says it's only been 5 weeks. I'm not panicking yet. A lot of football left. Yes, Big Growing. Preach. Chris says, should I sell high on Worthy? Yeah, it depends on what you can get. It depends on what you can get. If you could get a Lab McConkey, I would probably take that when Rasheed Rice come back. I'm not saying definitely, but I might take that. Kay says I'm hesitant, or like a Brian Thomas Jr. I would try to get off Worthy and get a Brian Thomas Jr. Kay says I'm hesitant about picking up Taysom Hill about because he's 35. Hopefully he does play well going forward. If you in the deep, okay. Sorry about that. I don't think you should be worried about no Taysom Hill. I don't know why you reaching for Taysom Hill unless you're in a 16-team league.
Yeah.
Kay says, my bad for the bad grammar. You good, bro? I understood exactly what you was asking. Watson says, someone asking for Henderson and Pearsall for my Zay and Marks. Woo! Henderson with a hurt Antonio Gibson?
I still have
It's
faith in.
kind of a lateral trade, ain't it? It's kind of lateral, ain't it?
I kind of like Pearsall better than Zay. Um, and I still believe in Henderson. How many more fumbles can Ramondre do before they give him the ball?
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm off a little bit. My bad. So you saying that? So you got Henderson and Pearsall for Zay? No, keep Henderson and Pearsall. I agree. My bad. My bad. I read it wrong. He said I got JT White, Carter, Emeka, Waddle, and CD when he comes back. Yeah, I will hold on to the Henderson and Pearsall. Yeah, that's what I was thinking from the beginning. Rashik says Waller or Kelsey this week. I'm going with Waller.
Yeah.
B Silver says pick up Tungus or Theo Johnson and play him week 6. I have Mason Taylor a good pick touchdown week 5. Bowers and Kittle on IR.
I think
Good pick TD for week 5. Okay. Um,
Giants are playing the Eagles. I don't want any part of that.
what about Mason? Is the Jets on a bye?
No, they're playing the Broncos. They're the London game.
Right. Mm, okay. I probably would play Tungus. Who you playing?
I'd probably play Tungus as well.
You know, man, I would say play Mason Taylor. That would be my first option, and second would be pick up Tungus. But I say go ahead and dance with the girl that you came to the party with. You already got Mason, so go ahead and play Mason. That's what I would do. Yankee says I have sworn off Jets players too much chaos and questionable coaching decisions. No Mason Taylor for me. I respect that, Yankee. Joel says, should I bench J-Mo for Cooper Cup at my second flex spot? No, I think you got to keep rolling out J-Mo before you go to Cooper Cup, even though he's getting the targets. That's just my 2 cents. What would you do, RG?
If you have a losing record right now, I would probably play Cooper Cup.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I probably wouldn't do it personal, but I get that. That makes a lot of sense. I probably would go because I'm a J-Mo guy. Kay says my tight end one is Tyler Warren. Who should I target as my tight end two between Theo and Mason Taylor? Mason Taylor. Michael says I traded Kendra Miller and Khalil Shakir for Kamara. I have James Cook, B. John Robinson, and Jordan Mason. Okay, and I think you traded Kendra Miller and Khalil Shakir for Kamara. You got better, and you got trade capital for later in the season, and you already got a good running back field. So yeah, that's you just getting more. You're just getting better. Perk says will Chase Brown gain value with Flacco a little bit more?
Slightly.
Junkins for hearing? No. No, I wouldn't do that. Chris Villa says I traded Pitts for Malik Washington. This league has return yards, so he is my wide receiver too. Right, and I play in a league where you get return yards. I like that. Derek Buck says possible Giants put Tracy at wide receiver when he gets back now, and give Scatterbo the full lead at RB. Just thinking Tracy was a wide receiver, but he's not a good wide receiver. I think they just if Scatterbo fumbles again, I think they start go a 60-40 or a 50-50 split again. Jimmy says, is any tight end one set and forget it rest of the season? Yes, he is. Michael says, do I start Quentin Johnson or Xavier Worthy? I'm starting Xavier Worthy over Quentin Johnson. Who you starting?
Probably Worthy. No. Actually, I'm playing Quentin Johnson. They're playing the
Okay.
Dolphins.
Yeah, and that makes me nervous. They might just run the ball with Kamani Vidal with them or Hassan Haskins. I don't
That's
know.
not very good, so I don't think they're gonna have much production. So
Right. Michael says Mac Jones a 1,000%. Michael White says got Jacob Taylor and Dunze, Waddle, Ferguson, Kittle, Shakir, Charbonnet. I'm 4-1. Do you think you can win it all with this lineup? Taylor, Jacobs, Dunze, Waddle, Ferguson, Kittle, Hurts.
yeah,
Yes. And you keep working the waiver wire. Yes. Basketball says is Ted for Waddle a good trade for me? I get Waddle. No, I would keep Ted because I think you can trust him. Waddle could go down with an injury. So I would keep Ted.
yeah.
K says Gaddison a great stash. No, not at this point in time. Too many other tight ends. Manny says thoughts on this trade, trading Pickens for Montgomery. No, I think you should keep Pickens.
Yeah.
Chris says my draft, I'm 0-5. Team neighbors, AJ Brown, Bowers, Connor, Ridley, Rasheed.
Be like that.
Yeah, it be like that sometimes. B Silver says, what's realistic? What realistic free agent can the Chargers possibly sign, or do you think they're going to stick it out with while Hampton Hills? They're gonna stick it out while Hampton Hills. They did bring in
Hines.
yeah, Hans. B Growing says thoughts on Theo Johnson, Slayton, or our neighbors gone. Chemistry with Dart. Yeah, I like Theo Johnson as if that's the only tight end that you got on your waivers, that if that's the best guy, he's gonna be solid. He's gonna be fine
Yeah.
with Dart. I just like Mason Taylor better rest of the season. Rasheed says any waiver wire wide receivers better than Myers.
Probably not.
Maybe Golden if he's out there. Maybe Golden. Chris says last three questions, guys. Do you have faith in McConkey? Because my league Malik Washington is wide receiver 28. If you get in those return yards, I don't know. I still like McConkey, but I don't want to be disingenuous to your league. What do you think, RG?
I think I'm leaning toward Malik Washington,
Because of the
but
return yards?
yeah, and there's not two other wide receivers that have been getting more targets than him already. Um, I think I'm going Washington.
Sam says outlook on Golden stepping into a bigger role after bye. Yes. I think he's stepping into a bigger role. That's why I just mentioned him.
Your boy Christian
Um,
Watson's coming back though.
who?
Christian Watson.
Yeah, but I don't. Remember Jaden Reed is already out. I think Golden overtakes has a special role. Him and Watson to me is going to be volatile, but I think Golden can get a special role. Hopefully, hopefully. Um, what do I do with DJ Moore? You stash him because he's going to get traded, I believe. Philly says, do I drop Marvin Mills, DJ Moore, or Wandale Robinson? I would drop.
Mims.
Yes, I'll drop Mims slightly over Wandale Robinson. Um, Jared Benson said, "Would you drop Jacoby Miles for Taylor, Jets tight end in the dynasty, even though they you have Trey McBride? Do you believe Taylor is that valuable?" Yes, I would drop Jacoby Miles for Taylor for the Jets. Yes, I think he's that valuable over Jacoby Myers. Tron says, "I need two wide receivers in a flex PPR: DK, Olave, Devontae Smith, McLaurin, Rashad White, Jalen Warren." I'm going with DK and Rashad White.
Yeah.
Basketball says, was Roma Dunze and Matt Golden a good trade for JSN? I got JSN this past week. Yeah, great job. Great job. You don't like? Do you like it?
No, Rome's right up there with JSN.
He is. He is. But JSN, this target is a target hog right now.
I feel like Rome is two on that offense, if I'm not mistaken. Caleb and him have great chemistry together. Honestly, Rome was
Right.
wide receiver 3 before the bye week. I probably would not have done that.
Okay. Casey, should I drop Jaden Blue to pick up Vidal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Philly Mike says, do I drop Mims for Cooper Cup? Yes. Needed two wide receivers, Tron says. Needed two wide receivers. I will go with DK and Devontae Smith. I'm going with Devontae Smith for the upside play. Haskins or Vidal. I'm going with Vidal. He said Haskins. Okay, guys. So listen, we get ready to get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully this waiver wire video helps you. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, Cutting Edge Content. Anything you want to say before you get out of here?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Last comment, DK Tech, Debo or Cup need two. I'm going with Debo and DK.
I'm going tight over DK.
Okay. All right, guys. See y'all later. Peace.